Okay guys, welcome to the second edition of the Reloading Chronicles with the Yankee Cowboy. Tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about reloading recipes and the cost, effectiveness. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? And the other big thing about tonight is I'm reloading for breast cancer. My grandmother had breast cancer. I have friends and their family members have breast cancer, so I'm a big supporter. Plus, not to be a pig, guys, I like breasts, so it's a win-win situation. So we're reloading the federal breast cancer holes tonight. Got a couple of boxes. Not sure how long the video is going to be, but we're going to roll with it. I didn't get to do too much this week that I wanted to. I had a busy week. It's been crazy. Today's June 1st. It's my birthday, guys. The Cowboy's 39, so if anybody has any last-minute gifts, send them away. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. Just turned 39, guys. I'm feeling pretty old, even though it doesn't sound old, but Cowboy's been around. So, with that said, we're going to jump into this. I'm on the tail end of my Winchester 209s, and this particular recipe, my whole recipes were based off of AA Winchester hulls, and then since I've been loading, I just took out of the trash at the gun club any kind of hull and loaded that same recipe, and I've never had a problem with it. That's only what I'm used to doing. I'm not saying go ahead and do it in your particular shotgun, but I've changed from, AA target loads. This is where I got the original recipe. Then my second one I went to was these Remington black ones, and then I went to the green gun clubs, and these here. And I've always just kept the same recipe, even guys up at the club, The main thing on doing this, guys, and this is what I'll stress, is you could pick one off of, at least in my experience, you could pick one off of whatever hull you want, but the main thing you got to match up is your powder, the shot you're using, the ounce and all that, and your primer. Those three things you can't really screw with. Now this recipe calls for 18, and the bushing I got in there, I weighed it on my scale, we're at 17.5, and that's good. Now when I switch to the to these federal primers, after we get out of these few Winchesters I got in there, that calls for 17.5, so we're right in the wheelhouse. So everything, it's going to work out. So I got this started here, this here turret started, and let me double check because I don't want to screw this up, guys. Alright, we got powder in there, so we're going to need a wad in here, because this is very easy to screw up while I'm talking, guys. Make sure this, yep, that's got a primer, okay. We will commence reloading, and we will commence talking about, is it cost effective, and recipes. And you guys can listen to my dog barking at whoever walks by the house because he's a complete knucklehead. I may need to make an adjustment to this, guys, as we're going along, just for the fact that I think the primer tube here needs to just be tweaked just a little bit. But anyway, guys, let's hop into the fact of, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Is it cost effective? I got some numbers written down on my phone, and I'll pull them out in a minute. For me, it's more of the extension of the sport. It's nice to reload your own shells. It's nice once you get everything established, and it's a consistent load. These crimped pretty nice. These are going to work out pretty good. I like the federal hulls. I mean, they last a lot longer than most of the others. The only other good hull you're going to get is the AA's, but you're going to pay a shit ton of money for them. So when I see those in the trash, I try and jump on those as quick as I can. But I'll tell you what, these federals, they load pretty good. See, that crimp isn't too pretty. I'm not sure how these are going to work out, guys. But I'm going to go for it anyway. The machine might need a... yeah, this isn't working out, guys. That crimp is nowhere near in the wheelhouse. I'm going to take this over to my other machine. If it doesn't crimp it right, we're going to have to cease. It's almost like it's missing a crimp. We're good there now, but let's see what happens here. We're going to try another one, guys. We may have to pull the plug on this video. I may have to abort the mission. Nah, that crimped alright. Let's see what it looks like, though. That's pretty good there. Could have been a couple. Could have been a couple strays. But again, like I said, I'm gonna go on my phone and pull out the official numbers on where I'm at with this and what I paid for everything. I think off the top of my head, each box is costing me like $4.90. So it's cost effective because right now, I don't even know what a box goes for. They might go for $7. It's probably about $7-8. And so right there, it is cost effective. And number two is, like I said, it's an extension of the sport. It's nice to do your own shells, and you know what's going into them. You know how they're going to react. When you buy store-bought loads, you'll buy whatever's cheap that's on sale. They're all different. You could shoot really good with one, and then the next one you could shoot like crap with because the feet per second is going to vary. These primers are almost running out, guys, so I'm just going to chuck one in there. The feet per second may vary, and you're not going to get a consistent shot pattern and a consistent load. So that's one of the reasons why it's worth it for me to do it. And again, the money end of it. It is worth it in the long run if you can get your materials and your supplies at a decent price. But it all depends on where you're getting your supplies from. I'm going to load in these Federals now because I'm down to the last 4 and it's not advancing. All right, now to load this up, guys, is pretty easy. You're going to take this, you're going to turn it upside down. Then you're going to slide it out. I'm going to slide it out this way. This way here, the black part stays right on top of the dish here, and you don't lose any on the floor. And then you'll just lift it up, boom, and there they are. And these are a little different than the 209. I never used these before. Winchester 209s. Let me show you guys. So we're going to see a little bit of a difference here. Winchester 209s. They're tan in the middle. I don't know if you can see this. Yep. See, they're tan, and then now these new ones here are red. They're supposed to be a hotter burn. I don't know, but we're going to find out. It'll be the first time I'm going to shoot these guys. All right, let's get back into it. All right, we're good there. We got shot. Let's advance the turret. Let's get the shell back in. There we go. Yeah, these aren't crimping too good, guys, but you know what? Like I said, this is for breast cancer, so I'm going to load them anyway. I'm finishing up, so I'm going to finish up this powder, and I'm not too concerned with it. Alright, see, now we're dropping the primer again because we're loaded up behind it. Yeah, see, look at this one. This one didn't crimp right. Something ain't going right here, guys. But I'll fix it. I know the load's in here correctly, so I'm not worried about that. That's all in here correct. See, that one crimped fine. I just gotta keep an eye on this for a minute, guys, and see what's going on. See, this isn't coming down far enough. I may have to adjust it for this one. Yeah, it's not crimping this. Let me crimp these two, and I'm going to cut camera here for a minute, guys. I'm going to make the adjustment on this. I'm going to lower down this final crimp. There's an adjustment. I'm going to lower it down because it's not seating it all the way. And then we'll hop back in. So I'll be back in a sec, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. I think the problem here with why these aren't crimping right is these were a 6 crimp and I have an 8 crimp in there. But it's okay. I'm still getting it to seal up okay. It's just not pretty looking, but they're still sealing up okay. And if you shake it back and forth, it's still tight, so I know the pressure will be there. And even though this is screwing up, it still rounds the edges off, so I won't have a problem with them feeding in. I feed them in one at a time anyway, so I'll shoot these through my Benelli, my pump, which I'll load it straight into the chamber by hand. I won't chance loading these in my Browning, just for the fact that, see, this one needs to be done, just for the fact that it might not cycle. So, see, now that one did a nice job on it over on the other one. That came out like a factory load. I still may need to do a little tweak here, guys, but we're going to carry on. We're going to keep loading. I'm going to stand up, guys. It's a little more comfortable than sitting on that chair. The Federal primers are dropping in now. So we're already into the Federal primers. I really don't like the way this is crimping, guys. I may make another adjustment before this is said and done. I might need to come down with it just a little more. But let's get back to the whole recipes and everything else. Like I said, my original recipe, guys, was all based off of Winchester AA's. But what you need to do is, when you get into it, whatever powder you're using, you go on the powder's website, and there's where you're going to get your basic recipe from. They're going to have a basic idea of what you should be loading and putting in it. Because you can go on the whole manufacturer, but it's just going to be a lot harder because then you have to track down which powder. Just go right to the website, what powder you're using, and they're going to have every recipe that they recommend for their powder on their website. So that's where you want to start out there. And then you find, you know, the feet per second you're looking for and what you want to shoot for feet per second. Find the closest recipe you can, and then you know, go from there. I don't like the way these are crimping, guys. The only good thing to save and grace, like I said, is the edges are rounded over, and I'll put these in my Benelli. They'll fire fine, but I'm going to, what I might do, guys, see, I almost screwed that up, so I got to pay attention. What I might do is, hold on, guys. Oh, that's right. What I might do is stick a gun club in there and make sure that crimp, when it goes around, that it's going to be good. It's getting jammed up here on something. I'm not quite sure what we're getting jammed on. See, this is the one thing you got to be careful of, guys. You don't want to screw anything up. See this primer? The primer's not in there, so I didn't come all the way down. I don't know why it's not letting me all the way in here. Something's hanging up here. Might be a bad shell. Let's try a different shell. Ah, I see, guys. See, this is the important part. If you spill one little pellet, yeah, I see it there now. Oh, alright, guys, never mind. I'm glad I made this mistake on camera. Holy shit. Alright, there we go. What just happened was there was a primer. When you deprime here, and this deprimer, this is a little different than my other loader. I'm still getting used to it. I got this tray under there, and there's a tube that comes down through here. The primer is filled up in that tube. There was no room for him to drop down. So that's what it just got stuck on. Okay. Now we can commence. Well, it shouldn't have any effect on my crimp, but that was definitely screwing things up there, guys. So, there we go. Alright, guys, now we got it. Now we're back in action. See, there's a lot of variables here, guys. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. That sounded wonderful. Just got to be careful, guys. That's all. Pay attention to what's going on. Now what I'll have to do is just empty that out every now and then. There we go. There's a nice smooth push. You know what? Maybe the turret wasn't right because that was a nice one. Let's see if we can get these to load perfect. Alright. Onward and upward. Let's talk cost effectiveness, guys. Again, I'm going to get back into the cost effectiveness. I ended up finding a local Walmart where I'm getting shot from, and it's going to work out for me. If you got to pay $42, which is pretty much the going rate right now, if you've got to pay that $42 VIG for a 25-pound bag of shot, it's up to you. I mean, it's really going to be up to you whether or not you want to load or not, because it's really not going to be cost effective. You'll be able to get them cheaper on sale, but again, it gets back to, you know, do you want a consistent load? Do you like the extension of the sport? You know, do you want a certain feet per second? So these are all things that you got to decide if you're going to get into it. Which right now for me, it's an extension of the sport. And when I shot my perfect 25 and I was shooting well, I was doing my own reloading. When I go from reloads to a factory load, it screws my whole trap game up. And I don't care if you're shooting trap or if you're shooting skeet, it's going to mess you up. So that's why it's kind of nice to reload and just stay with one recipe, because the feet per second is going to be the same whether I don't really care. I don't buy into the hull part of it. A hull's a hull. I don't really see how they can come up with differences, but they do. They'll tell you that one hull will give you different feet per second from another. I don't see the difference. This Federal is made of the same damn material as this Remington gun club. It's the same damn plastic. Look, the brass on the bottom is the same height. See that? It's the same height. It's the same damn thing. You look inside, the cup's the same. Everything's the same. So I don't know how they can come up with that. So that's why I've always just said, screw it. Let me just take whatever I can and I'll load it. And like I said, it's always worked for me. It's always proven to work for me, guys. So that's why I'm loading these here breast cancer ones up, because I know they'll load. The crimp isn't pretty on some of them. Some of them is really good. These particular green gun clubs, they crimp nice. Some will give you a little bit of an issue, like these here. Some of them are coming out nice, some of them aren't. The ones I took over to my other loader, they crimped up nice. But again, guys, it is what it is. This here is more or less for breast cancer awareness I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure that this recipe here is going to be good. I'm looking for about 1150 right now to 1200 feet per second. And I do need to get a bigger bushing. I want to get the automatic one where I could dial it in, as I said in my last video. So once I get that, I probably will up to feet per second. I didn't get a chance to try out any of my reloads yet, since I've changed the recipe. But the recipe, as I changed it, it is by the manufacturer's specs. So we're in good shape with that. It's not going to explode my gun, hopefully, and you guys won't see the cowboy on here making any videos anymore. But it's all good as far as the recipe goes. So I got a lot of good responses, guys. A lot of people calling in with good ideas for topics. Next week should be a pretty good one. I got something in mind from one of my viewers. I'm getting good responses on these videos so far. Hopefully you guys don't find them too boring. Try and make them a little entertaining as we get further along. But I think it's doing pretty good. Got good responses so far. People seem to not mind watching them and listen to me babble about nothing, which is good. See, that one came out sweet, guys. That's a perfect pink shell right there. Look at that crimp. I want to see an ugly one. See the difference? See, this is a good one. This one's kind of, see how it's kind of botched up there, but it's still rounded over. It's still going to cycle fine. So I'm not worried about it. I don't know where we are in the time, guys, but we're almost 2 boxes already done, and I'm not at no blistering pace as usual. It's just shooting the breeze and pulling the handle. Rotating the turret. See, if you don't get a good seal, sometimes the BBs will pop out of the bottom, but we're in good shape there. That one seems to be crimping okay. It's not the best. That, we hit a problem, guys, see? Had to get that one out of there. We jammed up the turret again. There we go. See, guys, I forgot. I already said watch out for that, and I already forgot about it. Just because, even though we're not going fast, believe me, we're doing a lot of shells here. My other one, I would have to pull it 7 times to make one. This is like, this is a dream. So, and again, guys, you guys got any other questions or anything else you want to ask about as far as reloading? I'm no expert on it. I have been doing it for a while, and I enjoy doing it, and this machine is just great. I love this machine. We talked about this last week in the first episode that I did of this Reloading Chronicles, the differences between machines. This machine is just, I love it. Just every time you push it and turn it, you got a finished shell coming out. And I'm going to tell you guys, in my opinion, as far as reloading, and the whole topic of tonight with me babbling away was supposed to be about the different recipes and is it worth it. The recipes are a piece of cake. You go on the manufacturer's website of the powder you're using, find the recipe within the feet per second you want, base it off of a particular shell you might be reloading, and that's it. There's really not much to it. And then as far as the cost effectiveness, you just got to figure out what you're going to get your supplies for. Go on, if you have an iPhone or an iPad, there's an app on there, and you put in all your information, and it tells you per shell, per case, per box. And I put in all my information last night on all my supplies. I just bought $30 for the, where's my, there we go. $30 for 1,000 of these Federals, right? Shot, I paid $35 a bag for, so there's 2 bags. The hulls I don't count because I get them free at the gun club in the trash, like I told you guys. And wads, I had these, but wads are like $12 for 500. And then it gives you, it puts out, what it's going to cost you. And to me, it's worth it. It's definitely cheaper because, like I said, I know this particular one, I'm $4.85 a box. You can't buy shells for $4.85 a box and know what the hell's in them, because I know what's in these. It's what I'm putting in it. I know exactly because I weighed the powder. The powder's all weighed up, so I know there's no screw-ups there. I got 17.5 grains of powder going in each one of these shells, and that's consistent. I've checked. I checked the first couple I do, and then the last couple I do on a box. I checked them out, and the powder drop is 17.5 every time. The only thing I am going to get, a few of the guys that worked at Reload that have been reloading longer than me, there's a piece that goes in between the powder bottle and the charge bar. It's like a baffle. It's supposed to make a perfect powder drop every time. I mean, like I said, I've gotten 17.5 consistent on this on the scale, but I'm going to buy it. It's cheap. It's like $6. And if it's a little added security that I'm going to get a perfect drop of powder every time, I'm going to put it on there. Like I said, for $6, it's not going to break. It's not going to break the bank, and it's a little added protection that you're going to get 17.5 or 19 or 18 or whatever your specific recipe is. It's just a little baffle that goes in between there. So I'll be getting that. I'm going to be doing a Cabela's run probably Sunday, guys. I'm sure I'm going to get some gift cards for my birthday today, so I'll be up there, and I'm going to get that automatic charge bar. This way here I can I'm really looking for about 1,200 feet per second, so hopefully I'll attain that once I get the other charge bar. And then I'll shoot that and see where I'm at with that and see if I like that. Because before I bought this scale, guys, the ones that I was shooting, I was probably only shooting 1,000 feet per second, and I shot a perfect 25 with it. So as I'm changing it and going along, it should get better and better. Hopefully you guys can just see how sweet this machine is, and how, every turn of the turret and every pump of the handle, we're cranking out a shell, which is sweet. I mean, you could just really reload a shit whack of ammo with this. I had this filled to half when I started. I've already did a quarter of the shot, an eighth of the bottle. I mean, this thing's cranking. We got 2 boxes of shells right here, guys. 2 boxes for breast cancer right here. These are going to get fired away. I'm going to shoot these probably on Sunday. I'll shoot traps Sunday morning, then I'll head up to Cabela's and grab some stuff. A couple of tools you want to keep handy when you're reloading. A small screwdriver to lift that turret, or get a little BB out of the way. You might get a stray. The bigger one, like I did before, I adjusted the crimp. And then the wrench, there's a nut to lock it down before you go with the screwdriver to adjust your crimp. So there's just a couple things you want to have around. So you want to have yourself a 1/2-inch wrench, a small stubby screwdriver to fit in there, and then just a small pick, an awl or a small screwdriver like that. And don't forget, like I did and jam up in the middle of this video, to clear your primers as they're dropping out. What I'll do is I'll take those primers now, guys. I came up with a clever little way. Take an old Coors Light can, and here's the this is the funnel, guys, to fill the shot and powder. I'll just throw that over like that on top of the Coors Light. Away they go, right in there. Boom. I store that back there. Now I got an empty primer tray to catch a whole bunch more. Put the cap on the Coors Light. All the old primers are in there. Set these over here. And that's it, guys. So I'm going to box up these here, and I'll probably end up reloading another box of these, and I'll call it a night for the Reloading Chronicles Volume 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, second one. They'll get better and better as we go. I mean, I know I kind of babbled and circled the wagon on the topics here, but it'll get better. I'll get a little more relaxed as I'm doing it, and then I'll really start just bullshitting and being myself, which I'm not too much in my other videos because I'm trying to do a how-to or whatever, but in these particular videos, I want to cut back and just be myself and let you guys see the other side of the Yankee Cowboy. That can be pretty funny at times and pretty entertaining. So hopefully next week's video, there's a couple things I have in store for sure for that one. Today's my birthday. I'm kind of in a rush to do some other things. But, you know, hopefully it answered some questions on is it worth it and talking about the different recipes. So any questions or comments on this here topic tonight, leave them below. As always, thanks for watching The Total Outdoors with the Yankee Cowboy.